Hey everyone, Pastor Tom McMurtry here from Liberty Baptist Church. Just want to let everyone know that tomorrow, Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to be going live, and I'm planning on doing a weekly live stream geared towards men. And I guess it will be similar to what my wife does with Gently Led Sisters, that is geared towards ladies. But I want to do something geared towards men. The Bible says in Psalm 16 verse 6, the lines are fallen unto me in pleasant places, yea, I have a goodly heritage. And in that passage, he's referring to his inheritance, the things that he receives, the portion or even the land that he had. It was a good heritage. It was a good inheritance, and he was thankful for that. Now, I'm someone who I don't have a lot when it comes to material things like that, but I am someone who does come from a good family that I was raised right. I was taught things right. I come from a very good culture, you could say. And I do have a very goodly heritage in the things that are spiritual, and I'm very thankful for that. And I've been greatly blessed because of that. I do not brag about my heritage. This is something I've received. It was something that God's given me and has been passed on to me. I didn't earn these things. It was given, and I'm thankful for it. And I feel like I'm continuing to reap benefits from those things. But I will say, in our American culture today, we are not, as a culture, passing these things on to our children. Our culture in America is absolutely going down the toilet. It is horrible what we are seeing in our culture, and especially with men. When it comes to being a man and just living life, many men do not know how to do it. And, I'm thankful for church. I'm thankful for all the good doctrine and the good preaching. But let me tell you something. Some of the best preaching and teaching you will ever hear, it's taught in the home by an example. And so many people today, they were not blessed to grow up in a Christian home and to see how life is supposed to be lived and how to actually put the things in practice that we're commanded to do from the scriptures. A lot of people can quote the verses on what they're supposed to do, but they've never actually seen it done. And because of that, it makes it very difficult, where someone who does have that goodly heritage, that was raised right, and that actually got to see these things put in place, it's actually more instinctive for them to do the right thing. And I'm amazed at how many things that I just have known, not so much because somebody verbally instructed me in those things, but because I just watched it. I got to watch my dad be a good husband and a good father and a good Christian. I got to see those things played out. And I often take for granted that people know how to just live life. And it is, I'm seeing more and more that a lot of people, they don't have a heritage like I have. And so there's a lot of things that are very basic to some who, if you grew up in a good home, that others have no idea about. And those are the kind of things that I want to talk about. And these are going to be things geared towards men. And I do plan on having a lot of different guests and things on the program. Sometimes I'll be just flying solo and just kind of sharing some things. But I really do believe this is going to be a big help to men. There's so many things that I don't think people are realizing that they're doing to themselves. A lot of the problems men are having, it's not really that hard for me to figure out what's going on, but yet when you kind of instruct people in these things, you can tell it's new to them. And so in my, obviously a lot of things get covered in my preaching, but when you're preaching, you're kind of preaching to everybody, men and women. And sometimes too, when it comes to men, some subjects might be a little sensitive, and I got to be careful talking about some things and with kids present and stuff. But you know what? On this program, it's just going to be straight talk to men, and we're going to get specific and talk about some things that, some of these uncomfortable topics. One of the things I plan on dealing with that's just destroying men, marriages, is things like pornography. It is absolutely devastating what that is doing, and people are constantly being deceived by this. And we're going to talk about some of this stuff. A lot of men, they know all about, the verses about leadership and wives submitting to their husband, but they know nothing about cherishing the wife. And I don't care that you have it memorized. You have that verse memorized, but you don't even know what it looks like because you've never experienced it, you've never seen it. And so I want to try to help with these things and get really specific and just lay it out and talk to you the way I would talk to my sons about these things and just trying to instruct them. And so hopefully this will be a big blessing. It's going to be every Tuesday at noon. I know that's not the best time for a live stream, but I like being at home in the evenings. I don't want to commit another evening every week to something like this. And you can always watch it later. And this is just a time I know I can be consistent with. I'm pretty much always here on Tuesdays around noon. So be watching for that. I do not know what I'm going to call this program, but I'm open to suggestions. Everybody's trying to do something that's along the lines of gently led sisters, and like roughly led brothers or something like that. That's kind of lame. I don't want it to sound too much like that, but it is kind of the same kind of thing, but for men. So be watching for this, and a very special topic I want to cover tomorrow about something that I think contributes to a great deal of struggles that we're seeing men have. I'm seeing more and more men become very emotionally unstable, kind of like women. And I think there's many reasons, but I'm going to really deal with one specific reason that I think we're seeing this kind of thing. That there's a lot of men, when they get in trouble, when they start struggling emotionally or whatever, there's a common thing that I'm seeing more and more that I think is part of the problem. And I want to deal with that tomorrow. And you know what? No filters, all right? We're going to just lay it out. And if you get your feelings hurt easy, I recommend you go somewhere else to watch a program. But somebody needs to tell you this stuff, because your dad obviously never did. And hopefully I'll be able to help you out. And hopefully I think it'll be an enjoyable program. So be watching for these Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Central Time. God bless you. We'll see you all tomorrow.